We just saw something. We saw Psycho Goreman.
We're also on different sides of the screen.
Yes.
Usually I'm over here, and she's over here.
Yeah.
But we're in a different place now.
Everything's different.
Yeah, this is the first one that we've done here.
Yeah, first Backseat critique.
We have different animals that sit there now. Oh, it's falling down.
You see, Omega likes pit bulls and I like spaniels, so it's symbolic.
Yeah, don't worry, don't fret.
But it fits our hair as well, with your short hair and my...
Well, it's under a hat right now because of COVID lockdown hair, but no, so don't fret. The green couches, they live on. My father-in-law has them, so...
Yes. Anyway.
I hope the cats aren't ripping at them with their claws.
Now, we found a copy of Psycho Goreman on YouTube.
We tried to watch it legally. Like we were, like we love Astron 6. We were like, what was it? What was it, like 2012 or 2013?
I think it was like before
2011.
Yeah.
So we first saw MANBORG. We were like, Astron 6. Wow, they're amazing.
This is the same. It was the same trauma dance trip that we saw. We saw the Avengers before we got there, and that's when the Avengers was in cinema in America.
And your man.
James Gunn was there, yeah.
We met James Gunn back.
So
so
we saw MANBORG. This was about a year and a half before it got a general release.
Yeah.
This was
we had to wait forever and ever to order on DVD.
This was an advanced screening that we saw because we were at Trauma Dance, and we fucking fell in love. We did a vlog. We kept singing its praises. You know, I did a review of it, obviously. You know,
no one paid attention until Lewis was tweeting about it.
Yeah, Little Karibo and all that. They discovered it eventually.
We were like, no, we've been like, we're hipsters of it.
And the internet was all like, ooh, MANBORG. But
we wanted, like, we have I've got Amazon, I've got Netflix. We don't have Hulu, but you know, we have a lot of streaming services. We're like, surely we can, you know, like, oh, it's got to be on Amazon. We can, you know, we'll pay to stream it. That's fair.
Yeah,
you know, we want to support Astron 6.
Fuck yeah.
No, not happening in the Republic or the United Kingdom.
I have, Astron 6 stuff. I got, you know, MANBORG, obviously. I got Father's Day. I've got the Astron 6 short film collection on DVD. I've got The Void. I've got the Leprechaun film that, you know, Steve Costanza did. I am a massive fan of these guys. As soon as this thing is on DVD or Blu-ray, I'm ordering a copy.
But we had to watch it on YouTube, and it was really bad because however it was put up on YouTube, the audio was slightly out of sync with the movie, and it got worse and worse and worse as it went on, which was a nightmare.
I think there was a file conversion that fucked it up.
And so I putting on subtitles doesn't really work because the subtitles are generated by the audio track. So the subtitles would be accurate to when the audio track was happening, which was out of sync with when things were happening visually. Like, we saw 2 people die. Well, we heard them squish before they died. We're like, oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
So someone put it up on YouTube. I imagine it won't be there for very long.
If you can watch it legally or pay for it, please do. Because support Astron 6 because they're really great folks and they're Canadian as well.
Because they're fucking amazing. Now, this is a fucking blast. This is up there with MANBORG and Father's Day for me. I mean, I like The Void. And, you know, the Leprechaun film they did was...
The Void was good.
The Leprechaun was better than most Leprechaun films because, you know, Leprechaun films tend to be shit. But this is, like, right up there. I mean... Oh, this is fucking hilarious.
In my pocket for a tissue. Keep talking about how...
IGN referred to this as, like, the closest thing that we're going to ever get to...
There was condensation on the glass table. I had to wipe it off.
Oh.
Anyway, IGN says.
IGN referred to this as, How do I put it? How did they put it? An R-rated... The closest thing you would get to an R-rated Power Rangers movie where the hero is Lord Zed. And that's it.
Yeah, it evoked a whole bunch of stuff. You know, like, I watched so many video essayists who were so adept at, like, describing media. Like, just this morning I was listening to a podcast, I thought, God, I wish I was so clever. And I'm like, you know, they evoked things, like tropes almost, I'd say.
There's a lot of...
Over to you for your analogy.
There are a lot of Sentai stuff there. There's a lot of science fiction stuff. There's a lot of gore stuff. It's like MANBORG. It's like a big blender of a lot of, you know, things that, you know, nerdy people will enjoy.
And then just kind of, like, really absurdist stuff. Like, in MANBORG it was, who was the main vampire?
The Baron?
Yeah. Yeah, he had this subplot where he was, like, had a crush on one of the female human slaves, and he was like,
I will be in my nightmare chamber!
How do I talk to her? And, like, that was, like, it's just so random and out of the... You were like, okay. Unless there's like an alien council, like, and they're all, and we have to do this, or things, and the whole universe is in balance. And then, no, the blue ones are for everyone, Norm.
They keep eating the snacks. And they're
For everyone.
like in this film, like all good Astron 6 films, you know, everything that can be a reference is a reference. Like, you don't need Psycho Goreman's voice to clearly be an impersonation of Frank Welker's Megatron, but like deeper, or have his assistant who betrays him to be called Black Star, who's doing a perfect impersonation of Chris Lattis Star. Sorry, Black Scream, or
Black Scream.
That was it. You doing a perfect impersonation of Chris Lattis Starscream, but you throw it in there just to give extra amusement to the people who get it. For people who don't get it, it's just what they sound like and what the name is, and that's the perfect way to do it. It's not distracting in context. And like, there's a bit where Psycho Goreman has to contact, the main kids, who are brilliantly performed, by the way.
I feel like that little bit was in E.T. There's a callback to E.T. where he takes the speak and spell, and he builds a communicator device to call his people. Yeah,
probably.
And because that's the first thing I thought, it's like, oh, it's just like E.T. He phoned home.
But the bit where he contacts the dad, he's on the toilet and stuff like that, he's going to appear to the dad, like, in his big face, and he's, like, screaming at him. The joke is, he needs help, but, Psycho Goreman is not capable of doing anything subtly, so just screams threateningly at him about, needing help. But, before that happens, this little light sort of appears near the dad and comes towards him, which becomes Psycho Goreman. Now, that little light, that is clearly an homage. The way it looks is clearly an homage to the very end of the Neverending Story, where the last bits of Fantasia are like being held by the childlike empress. Again, and if you don't know the Neverending Story to such a level that you recognize that, it's just what it looks like in the film.
So basically,
but if you do, it's an extra 80s thing.
Gen Xers. Do millennials do the Neverending Story? Is that a Gen X thing?
I have no idea.
But it was early 80s, was it?
But Neverending Story is the best fantasy film ever made.
I know, I saw it when I was a little kid, but I'm a Gen Xer, and I'm not a millennial. You're a millennial. You're a film person. So.
I fucking love the Neverending Story.
I don't know. I don't even know these days. I'm so afraid that like all of the classic films of the 80s will be forgotten by these...
I think there is less chance of them
whatever kids are now.
I think there's less chance of them being forgotten now than they were, because in the old days, films were in the theater and then they got rid of, and then they might get if they're a big film, they might get a release like Wizard of Oz was released over the years. Then VHS happened.
Yeah.
And films
and then it just was
and then films survived longer because through VHS. And that means, because of VHS and because of DVD and because of the internet, it means that the films from the 80s onwards, the nerdy ones, they are not getting forgotten at the same rate as earlier ones. They are sort of constantly being rechurned in popular imagination and sort of reimagined.
Your film can bomb 3 times. Once at the box office.
But they get reimagined, they get, it allowed the people who like these ones to show it to the younger ones, and then the ones who liked it and then grew up,
so. That's
and they reference it. And
Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, all that stuff.
Yeah, it basically meant that pop culture, which is maybe not popular on release, but becomes popular, it means that it's a lot less chance of going away.
Yeah. But I hated the main character because she reminded me of my little sister.
Oh, I thought she was wonderful. She's just a sociopath. She's a self-obsessed, narcissistic sociopath.
I didn't say it, Mom.
I didn't. I was not comparing.
I think my parents.
I was not comparing her to anyone. I was saying the character was hilarious. I gotta say, tone her performance down a little bit. She'd make a fantastic Wednesday Addams. I mean, she committed to the role. Like her and her brother, who's like really put upon, and he committed to the role as well. All the kids were fucking brilliant. I mean,
yeah, they were good actors.
It's not often you get a film with this low budget.
And your man was the parents were weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even sure how many different tropes they were. Like, was she going for E.T.'s or Elliot's mum from E.T.?
Well, the very start they were going for Shaggy from Scooby-Doo because of her hair and choice of outfit. Wow. Like the dad's played by Adam Brooks, who was Dr. Scorpius in Manborg, who was the guy with one eye in Father's Day, who was the main guy in The Editor, who was in When Blackbirds Fly. He got like little voice roles in that because he's a big fan of Whether They're Gonna Die. I discovered this because I talked to Jimmy Screamer Claus because I did voice in one of his films. So I was in a film with
This is true.
with Adam Brooks.
This is an actual
apparently. No, actually, it wasn't. He wasn't. No, I wasn't in. We're backwards. I was in The Scuzzy, so we're not in a film together. However, if Screamer Claus asks me to do a voice in his next film, I might be in the same film as Adam Brooks, and I would be delighted.
You should hook him and Ashens up professionally, because that would be hilarious if like he just got
Ashens to a voice in it.
This is another like thing. It's like all of his other works, and there's all of a sudden like there's a very clipped English accent going, "Hello, what's up?" and then dying violently somehow.
Well, whenever I did a interview with Ashens a little while ago, it was about Extreme Cinema, and I talked about Jimmy Screamer Claus, and actually I did put them in contact with each other, so maybe something like that will happen.
Maybe it'll happen. Yeah, because we just have to accept the fact that every YouTuber on these aisles knows each other somehow.
Yeah, a lot of us do.
I don't know any of the only Irish one I know is John.
Yeah.
There's some kid from Derry though, isn't there? There's like
he's a presenter on Blue Peter now. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's done well. Good for him.
But yeah.
Psycho Goreman is fucking hilarious.
It's funny. Watch it if you can. You know, definitely. If you can do it in such a way that's like legally, so like they get money, please do that, because you should support Astron 6. They're independent film at its best and most Canadian.
Yeah, don't torrent it. I mean, if the YouTube copy is still there when you want to watch it.
You don't have to do that. I
enough.
had to look at my phone through like the end of it, because it's just the audio visual unsync is very confusing.
If you can watch, if you can give them money to watch it like streaming or watch it in Shudder or whatever.
Or you could buy Manborg on DVD. It's not about the killing. It's about family.
Yeah, I mean, MANBORG is fantastic. You know, the editor. The only I
didn't like the editor.
No, I didn't like the editor either. But that's because
it wasn't for us. It was for people like Brad Jones who care.
Yeah, the editor is their love letter to giallo, and you know, Omega
some guy
has never seen a giallo film, and I hate giallo.
We watched it. We were lying in bed when I was still at Colin's house, and it was just boring, and I was confusing, and I was like, "Is this art house?" Because
they were doing the tropes of giallo, which you had no context for.
Bad. No one's supposed to get art house except the person doing it. So
giallo is a very particular
there we go.
An idiosyncratic form of Italian thriller. Giallo means Italian for yellow.
Oh, I thought it was
because
gelato.
And it's named after, because these stories started off as novels, and traditionally in Italy they were printed on yellow paper or yellow book covers, and so they were called giallos, and that's why the film versions, which started off in the 70s, were continued to be called giallos.
I see.
And I don't know why I know all that about them, considering I don't like the genre.
Did you read the wiki? That's probably
how I remember. It's possible.
But no, it's just for people who think that they know enough about film to be snotty. But
yeah, that's what I love about Astron 6. They know so much about films that whenever they make it, no matter what genre they're doing the thing on, they can commit totally to it and bring in all these obscure things, like, you know, from adjacent things all into it. I mean, so if you like the genre that they're pastiching, in this case, you know, Power Rangers is the closest thing, or Manborg, which is like RoboCop, it would be the closest thing, or Father's Day, which it's really hard to describe what exactly they're parodying there, but, you know, it's awesome. You get a lot out of it if you like the genre. It's mystifying if you don't, but hopefully entertaining. Like,
I mean, like, it's obvious that a lot of their practical effects they put work into.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's not just get it, it's a cheap practical effect, no. But there's work put into it to, you know, not overcome that. What do I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you know that it looks fake. Like, there was a lot of claymation, some of the effects.
Oh, because they love claymation.
Yeah, so you could tell, yes, obviously this is not top-of-the-line CGI, but there's enough work put into the practical effects that you're like, oh, this isn't just, ha-ha, bad practical effects, lol, for the lulz.
Like
summing up.
Like
I'm not very expressive if I'm not writing in academic form.
Like the Astron 6 guys, at least several of them started off their jobs in film were in special effects. This is why Manborg, if you watch it, it was made for if I can remember correctly, between $5,000 and $10,000.
And that's not a lot of money.
Yeah, it was filmed in.
Not because it's Canadian dollars, just because,
It was filmed,
expensive.
as I understand it, like in a basement with a green screen roughly set up and everything. And because they had all their background in special effects, they were able to do that. So it looks more expensive than it cost. I have no idea what Psycho Goreman cost, but
It wasn't on IMDb.
it's going to be much more than MANBORG or Father's Day. But again, I'm guessing it's less than it looks. And some of in previous their films, like with MANBORG, it's the obvious example. You have some bits where it did not work very well. Like the special effects, they were definitely biting off more than they could chew. Or Father's Day with a bit in hell, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with.
That bit.
It looked a bit shit. This one, Psycho Goreman has that issue with some bits, but much less so. So either they got more budget, which I think is most likely, or they've got better, which I doubt because they were fantastic to begin with. So I don't think they've got better, as in they can pay for more stuff now.
It's already on so much.
I'm just really glad Astron 6 are still making. Although technically it's not an Astron 6 because all 6 of them were not involved. It's a Steve Constanze film, but this is. But
the heart of Astron 6 is
yeah, let's call this an Astron 4 because Constanze's in it, Adam Brooks is in it, Matthew Kennedy is in it, and Connor Sweeney is in it. So that's 4 of the 6. Astron 4?
I mean, it's good, I mean...
Yeah.
No one else is probably talking about this.
Well,
We're first.
Scaredy Cats talked about it, Thought Slime did a wonderful little video where he just basically said, you have to watch this is amazing, and I agree.
We're first. We did it before Movie Buff. We're like...
Psycho Goreman.
I don't think, Film Brain will be covering this somehow.
You will suffer an eternity for this. That line in particular...
She's going to be doing that, for days now.
You can see it in the trailer. That one in particular is doing Frank Welker's Megatron. Either a deeper version of the original Megatron or a takeoff of Frank Welker's later Megatron voice that he did for an animated series.
Blue Period.
Well, yeah, he voiced Megatron in another animated series 20 years later. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it was Prime? I can't remember. There's too many Transformers shows.
Vangelis would know.
Creature would know too. I'm pretty sure. Creature, write it underneath here. What one did
Quickly, to the comment section.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm tired. Our lives are hard. We moved, and the people upstairs have little children that are always making noise, all the time. So I'm always tired. You're always tired.
Yeah.
Because you sleep during the day. Because you work during at night.
I work at night.
So she's trying to sleep. I'm trying to get work done.
I'm always depressed.
And I'm like, all right, so it's 8:30. Yep, all right, time for 23 minutes of hooting. Ready, go. Oh, wait. Okay, it's 1:15 in the afternoon. Time to run the length of the flat several times. I guess that's just
They're having a race.
what we're doing now. That's how we live.
Anyway, there's a cop in this. He gets turned into what appears to be a bio-cop.
A zombie thing. We were trying to figure out where this was filmed. Somewhere in Canada, but we're not sure.
Yeah, the Astrons are from Winnipeg, and it didn't look like a big city, so possibly Winnipeg.
The suburbs, because big cities have suburbs.
Yeah.
In North America. That's how that works.
Either suburbs or small town.
Yeah.
But, just fucking brilliant anyway.
If you know, right, the show.
I will buy it. Okay, if it comes out on Region Zero, or the Blu-ray equivalent of Region Zero, or our region for Blu-ray, I will buy it on Blu-ray. I will definitely buy it on DVD.
Yeah, because we have a multi-region DVD player. Apparently that's really common in Europe. You could just do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's so good.
See, they're screaming up there now, just because it must be time to scream. It's just how life is.
This film is fucking hilarious.
See, if I had the control of Psycho Goreman, yeah, because the wee girl has a gem that controls him.
Yep.
Then those neighbors would not be making noise. It would not be.
And they have these angel, Sentai angel things.
Templar, mech, cyber people.
It's great. I absolutely love that they have such a variety in creatures in this of aliens. I mean, in Star Trek, you know, you got the trope of, you know, oh, it's a person with something glued to their forehead, ha ha ha. In this one, you got like some of them look like, you know, sort of organic witch things. You got other ones looking like, you know, robot angels. You got another one which is just a tube with a skull with a brain in it, you know, that's
Like Mars Attacks.
yeah, like Mars Attacks, sort of, but it's with only a head. It's such a variety. It's like they got they like 15 films idea for sci-fi films idea for interesting designs, and they stuck them all together.
Some are like space fantasy, like some you would expect to find like in the Star Wars extended universe. Some of them were like Dark Crystal, you know, or like, you know.
And you had the
back in the 80s were like fantasy, and there was no line between fantasy and sci-fi, just everything all at once.
And the Cassius 3000, one of the parts played by Connor Sweeney, who played did the bad Australian accent in Manborg, who played Twink in Father's Day. One of his characters, because he plays two, one as a cop, is Cassius 3000, who's like a robot, one of the aliens. And the robot, he looks like a Victorian gentleman, but his entire face is like built out of metal, and he's got a robot part, and he looks like a
steampunk Roman robot alien.
It reminded me of, imagine if someone did an update of Return to Oz and was trying to update TikTok.
Yeah.
It was like that, but trying to make it more human. It's just such good design work. This film deserves to make a fuckload of money. Please watch it.
Go buy it. Go watch it. Go stream it.
It's apparently coming out.
What the hell else are you doing? I mean, none of us are doing anything in our lives. You just kind of have to.
It's apparently coming out on DVD and Blu-ray in March.
So pre-order now.
I tend to fucking pre-order it.
From the DVD Smith, not Amazon.
Yeah, and I look forward to forcing various friends and family to watch it.
Actually, when we can get Laura and Raymond down from Bunkrana, when people can see each other again, or John might want to watch it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's seen Manborg.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this will be the most fun, you know, for people to watch stuff. Since I made my dad watch the entirety of Future Man.
Yeah, but didn't you say he enjoyed it?
He did end up doing.
There you go.
It's
not making.
I got the feeling that
he enjoyed it.
Individual episodes he wasn't very into, but you know he had to see what the fuck they were going to do next.
See, I'm just not like that these days. I'm just like, is it a video essay? Is it a documentary? Is it a cookery video? Then I don't care.
We have to watch WandaVision.
We will eventually.
I've been watching it. I want to watch it with you.
I know.
It's MCU.
We'll watch it eventually.
Okay.
Tomorrow. It will not be tomorrow.
We've got patrons. If you are due a Backseat critique, I don't think I have any patron request Backseat critiques in my list yet. Oh wait, Monumental. We have Monumental we have to watch. That is a Kirk Cameron documentary.
Oh no, is he gonna run around trying to tell people about Jesus?
But it's about monuments.
He's telling monuments about Jesus?
No, it's about how monuments and Jesus are important.
Like cathedrals.
Well, monuments and statues. I imagine this was inspired by the pulling down of statues, possibly.
Oh, okay, well.
But
I mean, was like the Hagia Sophia, or like, I mean...
No, probably just in America being like, this is America! Here's a statue of America's history!
The Hagia Sophia is a big monument to Jesus. It's a big cathedral in Constantinople.
Yeah.
Emperor...
I thought it's a mosque that was a cathedral.
No, it was a cathedral.
Okay.
But they still call it the Hagia Sophia.
And it was before that, it was a pagan temple.
Emperor, Eastern Roman Emperor Justinian built it. It was his thing. Say, look, the biggest, bestest Christian. Look at this. And then he got the plague, although he lived, according to the mid-90s Dark Ages documentary.
I built a giant fucking church and you named the fucking plague after me. It's not fair.
Well, he also took a prostitute as his empress. A lot of people didn't like that. Although she was really good at it, though, it turned out, being empress.
That's what he said.
No, that's what the documentary said, because like there was like a riot. There was like riots. Basically, like there was a gladiatorial event that turned into a riot, and so he was like, "All right, that's it. I'm fleeing into exile." And on the pier, she's like, "You can go if you want. I'm staying." And he's like, "Wait, what?" And allegedly, she grabbed her purple robe and said, "Purple is my color. It's a great color to die in." And so basically that put the oomph in him that he called out the palace guards, and he had thousands of people killed.
Because in...
The Empress Theodosia?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because in Rome,
You didn't click on this video to learn that.
because in ancient Rome, it was only the very, very, very height of the nobility could legally wear purple.
Well, she was a fucking empress.
Yeah.
I reckon.
It was like the this is where the term "born to the purple" comes from.
I've never heard that term before.
Have you never heard it? It's like means born into royalty, born into greatness.
Yeah, well, my country doesn't have royalty.
Well,
Unless you count, like, national treasures,
and this is
Mr.
why
Rogers.
this is why there are very few uses of the color purple in flags, because most flags predate synthetic dyes, and the reason purple was used for nobility was because it was so hard to create a purple dye before synthetics. So the only so there's very few uses of purple in flags because it predates those dyes. You got information.
Except in the Afghanistan flag.
That's true.
Is that on purpose?
No, it's because purple and red purple coat, red and white makeup, wearing black and black.
I know,
those were the colors that I connected with Hagan because of what I wore.
Like, you would have, like, snuck an Easter egg like that.
Plus, purple's my favorite color. So,
I don't have a flag.
Anyway, if any other patrons, if you have a Backseat critique that you are due, let me know so I can be all like, we're doing a Backseat critique.
Stop rocking me! I'm falling down.
You're like, no, I can't watch
I'm
a film.
tired. I'm always. That's just my life. I'm just tired.
Yeah. And but apart from that, if no one has any Backseat critiques,
Speak up if you've been waiting on one for years and years and she forgot, because that happens a lot.
Yeah. In the move, I lost one of my obscure review movies. It's really annoying.
We'll find it. It's got to be somewhere.
It doesn't have to be somewhere. It might not have ended up in this flat.
It's probably, like, maybe it's at your dad's house.
I don't know. But yeah, my copy of The Judas Project has gone missing.
We'll find it. It's got to be somewhere.
That film's amazing, by the way. It's hilarious. But, so if we have no more Backseat critiques like that, I do want to watch Bill and Ted 3 eventually and do Backseat critique, and I do want to do a Backseat critique of New Mutants. So I have a copy of New Mutants. It's over there, but I'm holding off on watching it until we can do a Backseat critique. Yes. We also have to take notes for things as well, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah, we'll do that eventually.
Yeah. I love you.
Oh no, what's going to happen to my hat? I thought you were going to do something with my hat.
There's a new hat.
Oh, that's a... Yeah. No, don't put it... Oh, Jesus.
See, that's just worse, because it's heavier.
What did I say to you before we started filming? Oh, let's do this quickly, because I have a really bad headache. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that'll be great. Let me put things on your head just...
Okay, let's end it.
Well, you have the long arms. Go and press the button. Goodbye, everybody. We love you.
Watch
We do.
Psycho Goreman. It is good.
Yes.